Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Fan Stream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right. Good morning on this beautiful Friday. It's not a football Friday yet, but it's creeping up. We got hockey tonight, though, and a big game. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Bradley's joined us at 11 o'clock live from Denver. I don't know if he might be at the morning skate, but it might be a little early for the morning skate out there.
Well, I got to correct you. Sure. It's tomorrow.
Oh, that's playing. Right. I keep forgetting. I keep thinking the game's tonight.
I did the same thing this morning. I woke up and I'm like, yeah, game 2's tonight. And
yeah, my brain is like totally locked into game 2.
Yeah, and then I forgot.
Yes, Saturday night. Yes.
Yeah. So we have a whole day off again.
Thank you for the quick correction there. Yeah, we no, I'm so dialed into like every other night we're playing hockey because I can't stand watching basketball and baseball for F's sake. Golly,
you're on the NBA Finals.
That's exactly why my mind was. At least I get to watch hockey tonight. I mean, I swear to God, I felt like I was watching a mid-season game in the NBA last night. Did you watch any of it? I hate to start with NBA, but
we might as well. It was the finals. It's over. I tuned in around the third period in which the Warriors were up by, I want to say, 18 points, maybe. Yeah. I watched Boston get down to about 10, and then I actually passed out. Woke up this morning and
fourth quarter, playing at home, all right? Obviously a must-win game. And they cut the lead to, I think, 9 points with about 8 minutes to go, something like that. And Steph Curry, they do a little nice little pick and roll, and Horford gets caught on him up top, right at top of the key, head fake, of course, the 3-pointer, and then Horford's trying to guard him as he goes to the rack from the top of the key, not from the top of the key. He starts his drive. He gets all the way to the bucket and finger rolls it. Steph Curry. He doesn't get breathed on by anybody else. When I say no help, like you could have come from like the 6th row behind the basket and got a little lick on him as he got. Nope. They just stood around and watched him go by Horford for a finger roll in an elimination game on your own floor. The Boston Celtics is a great defensive team. I'm like, are you? Like that'd be like in overtime, letting some dude stand in front of the net with no one within 10 feet of him. Just stand in front of the net, right? And then nobody touching him. Not once.
Yeah. I was going to say
the intensity level, it was like a regular season game in June.
The 10 minutes that I watched, I was like sitting there. I'm like, man, where's the fight from the Celtics?
There's nothing.
It was like
nothing.
It really was non-existent. And I'm like, is this an NBA Finals game where your back's against the wall and you're at home or what?
Unbelievable.
I mean,
I was like,
so yeah,
whatever. I just wanted to say that. I mean, I used to love the Warriors, and now they've just become complete prima donnas. If I had to just one more time see Steve Kerr with a mask on, then not a mask on, not. And Steph Curry gets mad because somebody asked him last night. You have that audio. We should run it at some point or run it now. I don't care. This is your first Finals MVP, and he takes it as an insult. Like you can't ask that question now. Everybody's pissed off about that. It just brutal. It's absolutely brutal. But it's over. The NBA's over. Good. You have a champion. I mean, neither one of those teams are worthy of a champion. You got a one-man team in Steph Curry. Clay's not who he used to be. Draymond's a joke.
Draymond was great last night. You see the box score? He filled it up. Hey, I saw one. Did you see the little mid-range jumper he hit in somebody's face last night?
We're getting excited about a mid-range jumper.
I mean, for Draymond Green.
Wow. Talk about greatness. Wow. Oh, my God.
I think you're a little bit too sour on the Warriors. It's part of their dynasty. The dynasty's continuing. It might be it's probably the weakest of their dynasty teams, but it's still continuing.
You think? No, listen, what Steph's done, what's on his resume is incredible. He's one of, at least in my mind, one of the top 10 greatest players in the history of the game.
For sure.
Changed the game. He's done things, especially for a kid coming out of Davidson who wasn't even recruited, and has really literally changed the game of basketball. So yeah, I mean, and I respect that tremendously, but I'm just in terms of, what the NBA has become and what it used to be. It's just it's light years. It's light years, and it's not entertaining to me. These guys don't play with any sense of obsession or intensity in the finals. I'm not saying you need to knock people around a little bit, but there's just nothing there. It does not exciting, especially compared to the NHL playoffs, which of course tomorrow night is a very big game too. And I think I'm very encouraged by the Lightning. I must have been asked this 100 times last night at the Rick Naif celebration of life, which was really, really cool. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Saw a lot of dignitaries there last night at Raymond James Stadium. And if you don't know Rick Naif, he ran the Tropicana Field and Raymond James Stadium and was just an omnipresent personality and a big one over Tampa Bay sports for so very, very long. And they all ask me, like, what's wrong with the Lightning? What's wrong? I'm like, there's nothing wrong with the Lightning. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. We go and we play a little happy in the first game, get the blueprint, come back to the lab, figure it out, go out on the ice, and kind of take away what they do best, and away we go. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with the Lightning. They're in great position. There's nothing I saw from the Avs the other night that makes me think they're tremendously better. I know you think that wasn't the Avs' best game as well, which is definitely a pertinent topic to discuss. But at this point, I'm almost more encouraged. I could have expected another 5-0, 6-2, like we saw earlier in these series. And the Lightning, the Lightning aren't going to panic. There's no panic in their dressing room, and they just know they got to get more shots on Darcy Kemper. Yeah, and I'll give you this. And I was actually listening to the great Eric Erlitzen this morning. He was on NHL Network Radio. So shout out to him for this stat. In the 24 series the Lightning have played with John Cooper, they've lost the game one, I think he said 14 times. So that's an incredible stat when you think of it. You're getting behind the 8 ball more often than not in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and that their ability to still come back, win those series it's phenomenal, right? Yeah. It really is. So I think that's a big thing. And I said it yesterday. It's actually, I forgot about the 2015 final. They lost game one as well. Yeah. They lost game one in 4 of the 5 finals they've been to. So there you go. Take that for what it's worth. I think it's important. So I think the Lightning, again, 18-1 after the losing a game. I think tonight, or here I go, saying tonight. I'm just conditioned to think tonight. I'm so locked into it, yeah. Tomorrow, I think the Lightning are going to get a win. We're evening up this series, and we're coming back to Emily. I think so, too. And frankly, if it's a close game tonight and they don't win. There you go, tonight. Tomorrow night. I'm still not going to be really worried because I saw what they did to the Rangers as well. So, but I would much rather see a win tonight. There's no doubt about that. And listen, tomorrow night, good God, I'm so locked in. It's crazy. Yeah, and I think another big part of we'll talk to Brian Bradley about this as well when he comes up at 11 o'clock. Another big part of it is getting used to that altitude out there, especially when you're playing a game like hockey where you're expending so much of your aerobic energy and you got to have oxygen in your body. It's really a big part of the way the Abs play, and they literally suffocate you with their pressure and your lack of oxygen use, and that's what they're going to try to do. And the Lightning got to be ready for that. Shorter shifts maybe, but their bodies will be a little bit more used to the aerobic exercise that they'll be doing without oxygen, and they'll be better. And I think that's a big part of it as well. So I'm encouraged about the Lightning. We'll get into some of theirs now a little bit later on when they play tomorrow night. But against the Avs. I do feel like, though, here in our first segment, we have to talk about the Rays. Well, yeah. We got to talk about this ridiculous statement by the commissioner yesterday. And the state of where we are right now with the Rays. On the field and off the field. Where do you want to go first? I want to start with the on the field because I know you're probably fired up about the on the field product. I'm fired up about the on the field product. You get swept by the Yankees. You've lost 5 out of 7 to this team, and the Yankees are hitting under 180 as a ball club against you. How's that possible? Well, I'll tell you why it's possible because the Rays are hitting less than 170 against the Yankees this year. How's that possible? And that's where the air of my frustration comes from, is the Rays. It's not like they're losing these games or getting blown out. You are right there. And last night, Luis Severino got put on the COVID IL. So they have to pivot and go Clark Schmidt, who's essentially a rookie, bullpen game.
Clark Schmidt could have stayed there the entire game. The Rays weren't getting anything off of him.
Clark Schmidt.
I mean, first round pick, give him credit. But he could have stayed in there all game long. The Rays weren't doing anything.
Well, then they brought in the great Ryan Weber.
I know, former Ray Ryan Weber.
Yeah.
Which we did get one off of him. But that's it.
We got one. Could have been two. Which would have been a difference in the game because Harold Ramirez gets caught stealing before he hits a home run.
Yeah.
Who? Harold? Who?
Yeah.
Harold Ramirez, which,
Harold Ricky Henderson Ramirez.
No offense, but, maybe we can work on that diet a little bit. You're a professional athlete, bro. And you're stealing bases. If you want to steal bases, drop 20. I mean, I'm not fat shaming. This is athletics. Am I allowed to say this now? If your body shape doesn't work for your performance.
He just shouldn't be stealing. The bottom line is he shouldn't be stealing bases.
Well, the bottom line is you should also get in shape. I'm sorry. You're a professional athlete. You shouldn't be that heavy. And if you're running around and you're trying to steal bases, what are we doing? 18th caught stealing leads the major. 40 unearned runs, second worst in the majors. Offense, I don't know where they rank right now, but it has to be near the bottom. I mean, they've scored 3 or less runs in 30 of their 60 games. Is that what I put it out there last night. Yeah, well, that's why you trade a guy that, that puts out 106 RBIs in the middle of your lineup for an unproven rookie.
Do you want to hear the only teams that are hitting worse than the Rays right now in baseball?
Cincinnati?
Nope. They're hitting better than the Rays.
Wow.
The Pirates.
What? The Pirates?
The Tigers.
Or worse.
This is the only teams that are worse. Yeah. The Pirates, the Tigers, the Diamondbacks, and the Athletics. And if I'm not mistaken here, all those teams are in last place.
Yeah. And what do they also have in common? Low payrolls. Very, very low payrolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like ours.
Yeah, every offensive metric.
And by the way, I said this yesterday, and when I put it out, people sending me stuff about how bad Meadows has been this year. I don't care. You put somebody in a new environment, in an organization that maybe doesn't put him in favorable matchups like we do, and did for many, many years. The guy was an all-star productive hitter, and you're telling me, oh yeah, I'm okay with the trade when you have one of the worst offenses in baseball. How is that possible? How have you people been so brainwashed about, it's like Paredes, he's a young prospect. How can you be so brainwashed that you could sit there and try and defend a trade of the guy who led you in RBIs, hit 33 bombs the year before, and you're like, oh, we don't need him. I mean, we don't.
Again, another stat I'll throw out your way. The Rays were second in runs last year. You forget that. The Rays were second in runs. They are 24th right now in runs.
We're second in runs, so let's get rid of our top RBI guy.
I have a good sample size now. How many games? Are we a third into the season?
Who was going to make, by the way, $4 million this year.
Yeah, but we're a third into the season, right? Yeah. Essentially. I have a good sample size to go off of here. The Rays offense is dreadful. And again, I get it. There's no Wander Franco. There's no Brandon Lau. I'm aware of that. But
everybody has injuries.
You go through them. And I think if you're not able to make up for those injuries, then that says something about your depth right now. Yeah. The lineup I saw last night, and I said the other day, Vidal Brujan looks like he's getting more comfortable, whatever. The fact of the matter is he's still hitting a $144 and he's leading off. That's who we're leading off with. And Brett Phillips, who has like one hit in the month, he's hitting 6th ahead of Harold Ramirez.
Again, Clark Schmidt and Ryan Weber. You can't get. We're not like we were facing Severino,
the Rays pitcher,
or Nestor Cortez, or Garrett Cole.
The Rays pitching staff has got to be losing their mind right now.
They have to be.
The pitching has been just phenomenal. How can you pitch that well against the freaking Yankees where nobody else can solve them? The Rays pitching staff has. How do you do that well against them and you still can't get across a run or two a game against them? Yeah. I understand they have great pitching too. But every night, all I hear was, you got to tip your cap to the other pitcher. You got to tip your cap to the other pitcher. We just ran into a good one. I can't hear that any longer.
I was watching some of the highlights this morning, and they showed a Clark Schmidt strikeout of, who was it he struck out? It doesn't matter. They're all the same. It was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball with 2 strikes, belt high over the heart of the plate. and you just stand there and look at it. It was Taylor Walsh. You just stand there and look at it. Like, how with two strikes, and you're in the hole that you're in, how in the hell do you let a 93-mile-an-hour fastball belt high down the middle of the plate? How do you just watch that go by as a major league hitter with two strikes? That just, like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you doing? Swing the effing bat. And I saw some people on Twitter were just like, I can't watch this. I can't watch. I mean, like, I was at the celebration of life for Rick Nave last night, so at least I had a nice excuse not to watch. But when I got back, I watched just the end of the game, and I'm like, what the hell is Ryan Thompson doing? What is that? And I heard Neil, and I was actually riding back in the car, so I heard Neil Solondz, who was doing the game last night, and he said, well, this is, and he made a good point. He goes, this is how the Rays do it, and this is how they won 100 games. It's his time to pitch. This is who he's supposed to get out right-handers. And if you don't put him in when it's his time to pitch in this situation, what you're doing is taxing the rest of the bull. That's a good point. That's a good point. But that is an analytics-driven, 100% driven decision. And for me, in that decision, it was a 1-1 game, right? Or 1-0 game.
It's 1-0.
1-0, 2 outs.
It's 1-0. There's 2 outs in the inning. Hey, listen, I got it. I got the DJ LeMahieu splits. I get it. Okay? I got it. But is there a feel? I don't know what the metrics are, but is there something that tells me to feel out what Ryan Thompson's been doing this season? He goes out there, and right now I have no idea where the ball's going. It's going to the backstop. It's hitting somebody. It's inside. It's outside. It's high. It's low. I have no idea where Ryan Thompson is pitching right now. He's going through it. His ERA is almost at 7. For crying out loud. I get it. The Rays have a lot of injuries to their bullpen, so he has to be on the roster right now, I guess. But in that moment, that's the problem right now that I'm trying to wonder why. They keep putting guys in who that don't have it right now in the key situations. Why is it not like Jason Adam at that moment? Jason Adam came in after. Why doesn't he come in first over Ryan Thompson? And again, I saw people saying, well, they want him later here because of this. And the 6th inning has to be treated like the 8th inning from now on for the Rays. When you have a lead, at this point with the Rays offense, you have a lead, you have to unload the best you have. Don't just put Ryan Thompson in there because, this is his time.
It's his time to pitch.
It's not his time. Yeah. Put the best guy you have in the high leverage situation.
Well, especially that you've lost 2 in a row to the Yankees. You have a lead finally. I agree with you. That, to me, that's the highest leverage position right here. And you got who was coming up? It was Stanton.
It was the meat of the order.
LeMahieu and Rizzo, right?
That was the meat of the order.
Yeah. And if he didn't get those first 2 guys, then he's going to have to face Rizzo. And Thompson can't get a left-hander out. We know that, but he's going to have to stay in there because he's got to face 3 batters. That seemed like a very, very. And again, please tell me the analytic that shows you should put Vidal Brujan at 144 or whatever the hell he's hitting in the leadoff spot.
I mean, Kevin Cash is probably at the point where he's like, I got to mix up everything right now because nothing's working and they're going to keep throwing stuff at the wall. I got all that. I'm
still not sure he's making the lineup. So
who knows? But yeah. So would I put Vidal Brujan there even if I'm trying to mix things up? No, because I don't know what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do anymore. I guess the whole leadoff hitter thing has been thrown out the window. I don't know if that's the thing anymore. We're putting guys who are hitting 140 over there now. But that's who the Rays have right now. Look at the lineup. Look at the liabilities throughout the lineup.
Yeah. And Armstrong comes in and gives up the bomb to Rizzo. It's a walk-off.
You felt it coming.
Yeah.
You felt it coming.
Do you have the call on that one?
I do have the call. Let me cue this up.
Are we going to rub salt in the wound here? Because the Michael K call is brutal.
I don't have the Michael K call.
Luckily for you listeners.
So I'll give you the Dwayne Stats BA call here.
Okay. Valley Sports Sun courtesy.
There's a shot back into deep right center. That is gonna go, and this game is over. Anthony Rizzo connects on a 2-1 pitch and hits it out, his 16th home run of the year.
That's a slow trot right there.
And suddenly the game concludes.
That sucks. And
it does.
Michael K is like, so they sweep the Rays out of the Bronx. Shut up.
It hurts more because
It does hurt more.
the Yankees. I tell you, I used to think of the Red Sox as the Rays' biggest rival. For whatever reason, the last couple of years, I think the Yankees have become that.
Yeah.
And every time we lose to this team, it sucks.
Here's good news. Mike Zunino's arm issue looks to be thoracic outlet syndrome.
Is that?
That's the one where you got to have the rib taken out under your arm. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's out a long time.
Yeah.
So welcome to the bigs, catching tandem of Francisco Mejia and Rene Pinto.
Who, by the way, until he hit the home run last night, I mean, talk about scuffling. Francisco Mejia, his average popped up yesterday. He was hitting 202 before that home run.
Well, at least he can, throw people out at second base like Aaron Judge.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. No, he can't do that either.
No.
It's bad, bro. It's bad. It's really, really bad.
We had this conversation yesterday. We're at the point in the season where can you afford to even wait to the trade deadline to start getting on the phone and making moves? Can you even wait? How about this? Is this team worth it right now going after it?
But to give away prospects?
To start giving up more prospects and trying to get guys in here. Is this team good enough?
That's a great question.
Even if they're fully healthy. Because to be honest with you, I still think in the last 3-4 years, the teams they've had that have been great, I guess their little window. Mm-hmm. This feels like the weakest variation of it right now. Yeah,
I would say that this team is what I thought it was. What did I say at the beginning of the season? Mid-80s. These win total. Anything super special in this team. The lineup looks weak. I don't see the offense. And hate to hit, but
pitching and defense.
I was right.
Has always been carrying the Rays. I mean,
right.
How many games could they honestly have won right now if the defense was like normal?
Well, 40 unearned runs, second worst in the majors. I'd say that's probably worth 4 or 5 games right there.
Yeah, the pitching's been
we
awesome.
Could just think, just as Yankee series, the Margot, Phillips, KK dropping outfield ball, all critical to the end of the game, to the final score. Every one of them. I mean, we're playing close games, and you're dropping pop flies. You ain't beating the Yankees. You're dropping pop flies and you're walking guys. No, you're not beating them.
Yeah, I guess if you want good news today, I guess Wander Franco is going on his rehab assignment, is what I heard yesterday. Yeah. So, oh my goodness, they need him in the worst way. Because remember the games whenever he would be out of the lineup, we would look at it and go, "Wow, that's a huge hole." Yeah. Now we've been doing this for the last 2-3 weeks. It's just I don't recognize the team right now. I don't recognize what I'm watching on TV.
Well, as bad as it is on the field, yesterday we get this wonderful quote from our esteemed leader, Rob Manfred, Commissioner of Baseball. And now, given this 10-year, 15-year pursuit of a stadium where the commissioner's office has done nothing but make things worse, tacitly giving Sternberg the opportunity to go pursue the ridiculous Sister City plan. Ridiculous. And that was just more, he knew damn well what Stu Sternberg was doing. Delay, so you can get your best deal. Whatever, or maybe he believed in Stu Sternberg. Whatever it was, if you're still believing in Stu Sternberg, that's a you issue. So we get this great quote from Rob Manfred yesterday. I think there is urgency with respect to Tampa Bay. You think? I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. There needs to be a resolution in the Tampa Bay region for the Rays. Obviously, the end of the lease at Tropicana for 2027 season is you need to take into account that stadiums take a little bit of time to build, right? Wow, what insight. What great insight to this complex resolution. I'm glad he could really add something to the debate. What the F is this? He continues. So are we getting to the point where wherever it is in the region that has an interest in having 162 baseball games, they need to get to it? Get with the club. I know the Rays are anxious to get something done and see if the deal can be made. Are you effing kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? You're putting this on the officials that they're not doing enough? Are you out of your freaking mind? If you're by not doing enough means backing up a Brinks truck to Stu's house and said, here's $1 billion to build your stadium. Okay, yeah, we're not doing that. Sorry, Rob, not doing that. Are you kidding me? For 4 years, there was a deal on the table. If you want to pay half, Stu, we'll get the deal done in Tampa. That was 4 years ago. And your man doesn't want to pay half. Why don't you say something about your owner who's twice been sued by his partners for defrauding them and has put away $500 million while the other owners continue to give him $75 million in revenue sharing money, or whatever the number is, because you don't tell us, but you say, it's not that much money. Well, then show us what it is. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. Okay. Well, then we're not going to believe you. Sorry. I mean, what the hell? How does that add to the conversation? Oh, you better get something done now. How about you come out and say something about your owner who's defrauded his partners, has negotiated in bad faith with every mayor that has come through there in St. Petersburg, and the Rays 100, and Bob Buckhorn, and Mayor Castor, and Ken Hagan. I mean, I had somebody that's I don't want to give away any sources, very close to the situation, come up to me the other day and say, this is awful. He said, this guy is the most disingenuous SOB, blah, 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 blah. Because Stu is now coming. I don't know exactly what he's doing, but he's pissing off a lot of people again. And most of it, I think, is with this dalliance with St. Petersburg. Because this is what he continues to say. This is Mayor Welch. As the article goes, 5 months' time has not yielded any apparent significant progress, though St. Petersburg Mayor Ken Welch is pushing for a team to decide which side of the bay it wants to be on by June 30th. Quote, we remain optimistic about reaching a deal with the Rays regarding their future in St. Pete. We have renewed the city's relationship with team leaders and have had several productive conversations. Translation, you're getting played like the other mayors were. Okay? Rays principal owner Stu Sternberg did not provide much insight into what stage the talks were in. Why can't his dude just be honest? Why can't you just be honest? Here's his quote. We have been and continue to work hard to keep baseball in Tampa Bay, he said via email. We speak regularly with Mayor Welch and appreciate his focus on keeping the Rays in St. Petersburg. Tampa Mayor Jane Castro declined comment through a spokesperson. Sure, she declined comment because she knows she's getting worked as well. What's she going to say? The Rays won't talk to us. The Rays are being disingenuous. The Rays aren't bargaining in good faith, because that's what's going on. And Rob Manfred has the balls to come out and blame the city officials now. Like, oh, you got to get something done. Well, I mean, we're not paying for the whole thing, Rob. It's not working that way. Your dude has been enriched $1 billion. His investment, more than $1 billion. He's taken $500 million out of it and put it into another company, according to the lawsuit, allegedly. And folks, you just can't make that stuff, by the way. That's true. That's the advance on the TV deal that he got from Fox Sport, or the regional sports network at the time. That's real. That's real money. So here he is sitting here with all this money, crying poor. All the owners know now that he's not poor, that he's making more money than they are, and he's beating them with lower payrolls. And they're pissed off. And Rob Manfred wants to come in here and blame the city officials. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Why don't you do something positive to get this deal done, Rob Manfred? Like, get rid of Stu Sternberg, force him out like you did Vince Namoli. Not you, but baseball. And get an ownership group in here that wants to work with the community, both communities, instead of having a guy that is so entrenched in his own personal self-interest that he's holding up the redevelopment of Tropicana Field, which would put thousands of people to work, high-paying jobs, build more affordable housing, a possible convention center, but things that will actually really enrich the people of St. Petersburg and make them have a better life, your constituents, Mayor Welch. Whereas a baseball stadium is going to be a white elephant. It's going to sit there and it's going to get the same damn attendance. There'll be a little spike with the new stadium, but then it'll be the same problem. Location. It's stupid. And Rob Manfred, if he showed any leadership whatsoever, he would have gone to Stu Sternberg and said, get the damn deal done and get it done. I think that they're pressuring him to do that, but to come out with these conversations and basically lay it on the officials, it's stupid. And you're not moving it forward. I mean, I'm I want to say I'm over it because this is a very important issue. I'm over the lack of transparency. I'm over this backdoor dealing with the guy who clearly is dealing in bad faith. And I'm really over the fact that the media in this town continues to give Stu Sternberg a free pass. And I don't get it. I mean, this deal should be the easiest deal in baseball. You have one of the most dynamic sports markets, if not the most dynamic sports market in America right now in Tampa Bay. You have an exploding real estate market. You could pay for the damn stadium just by putting up 3 condo towers around it. And I mean, you're increasing the property values of all that part of Ybor City, which is going to be a huge boon for the tax base. You put in the user fees like they did in Texas Live and the Battery in Atlanta, and it pays for the stadium. This is not a hard deal, folks. It's not. Over 30 years, it's $20-25 million a year for both sides. That's not a lot of money. And clearly, Stu has the money. Hillsborough County can come up with the money. It's extremely doable. But the only reason it's not been done is because of Stu Sternberg. And for Rob Manfred to come out and put this on, you better get the deal done. What is that? What does that even mean? Oh, we're getting to, hey, it takes time to build a stadium. Oh, thank you, Rob. Because I thought we could just shit it out and it would be there. I mean, what is that? Oh, we have to take time to build a stadium. Oh, thank you. Are you an engineer now? Because we didn't know that. So patronizing. And end of rant. I'm so frustrated by this process and the lack of transparency. And you can you imagine what it's like for Mayor Castor or Ken Hagan or anybody who's really busting their ass and doing diligent work on this to be dealing with somebody with a smirk on his face that knows he's holding a lot of leverage and could do it and not being forced to do anything, not being forced by local media, by fans. I mean, it's time for us to get up and effing do something. Really do something about it. All right, we'll take a break. I'll cool down here and we'll come back and we'll hear from some of the Lightning folks about tomorrow's Game 2. Stay with us. The world economy is in chaos, and mortgage rates are going to go higher in the next few months. Meanwhile, home values are up 24% in some neighborhoods of Tampa Bay. Do not miss this opportunity to refinance your home, get some much-needed cash to handle skyrocketing inflation, and fill up your car. Contact Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Even if you've recently refinanced, Scott can make the deal work because he charges no lender fees like the big boys do. He will also shop your loan around to dozens of lenders and get the best rates and terms. Let them compete for your business. The big banks charge huge lending fees. Customer service is simply a phone number with endless wait times. Scott is local and will personally take your call. Here's his cell phone number. Tell him JP said you could call. 813-294-7595. Scott's done over 3,000 loans, including many coaches and athletes. He will answer your calls and concerns and give you workable strategies to be smart with your money. Reduce your payments. It's not just what you make, it's what you keep. 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. The health professionals at Bay Area Modern Medical Center want you to know it's time to commit to a new healthy lifestyle. It's literally a matter of life and death. 42% of Americans are considered obese, and being obese made you 3 times more likely to be hospitalized by COVID. So getting in shape is not just about looking better, it's about living much longer. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, they take a very different approach to primary care. It's personalized, preventative medicine. Christopher Lugo and his experienced staff are proactive in looking at your issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle, building up your immune system, not destroying it with poor nutrition and bad habits. So call for an appointment, maybe change your primary care, and get on a journey back to full health and a happy life. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Have you purchased a home in the last 10 years and the stucco is starting to come loose from the upstairs portion? Well, that can cause some serious damage that you can't see until it's too late. Is it becoming an eyesore? Have you contacted the builder and just can't get any relief? That's very common here in Florida. So call the law offices of Christopher Palermo. They can help you. Call 813-221-5636. That's 813-221-5636. He's recovered millions for his clients. The law offices of Christopher Palermo at PalermoPA.com.
Coming back at you.
Now, more with JP on FanStream Sports. It's only just begun.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. If you have any issues with your construction defects, commercial or residential, he will help you out big time, especially with the stucco issues that are very, very prevalent here in Tampa Bay area. Over the last 10 to 15 years, many of the big builders here were using a substandard stucco product, and it's caused a lot of damage. And a lot of people just think that they have to absorb the cost because their home is out of warranty or what have you. No, that's not the case. Christopher Palermo will help you out and let you know if you have a case. All cases are different, obviously, depending on the builder, the situation, how old your home is. But many of you can certainly get more from your homeowner's insurance or your builder if you hire a lawyer, and Christopher Palermo is your man. He is an expert in the field. So if you think you have any issues with damage, cracks on the side of your house and the stucco, give him a call. Just go to PalermoPA.com, PalermoPA.com, and you can email him there or give him a call and set up a free consultation. So it's free to find out whether you have a case, and you could get a lot of money back. And maybe if you've spent money on repairs, you can recoup that as well. So as I said, if it's any type of damage to your home, sinkhole, storm damage, flood damage, any of that, he can help you with it, because those insurance companies aren't going to get you what you should get and deserve. So let him do the negotiating for you. Christopher Palermo, PalermoPA.com. All right. The Lightning will be back at it with the Avalanche tomorrow night in Denver. We'll be talking to Brian Bradley here at the top at 11 o'clock. An interesting article by John Romano on the Nathan McKinnon line versus the Sorelli line. And Valerie Nichushkin and Arturi Lehkonen, they certainly created a lot of shots and opportunities. McKinnon had 13. Nichushkin had 11. They didn't get on the score sheet, but they did keep the Lightning bottled up in their zone. And I think this is to your point that the Avs did not play their best game. Whereas there was a lot of action and they created a lot of chances, they didn't score, or McKinnon didn't score. So will that continue throughout these playoffs? Hell no. The dude's going to score, no doubt about it. But you just got to keep it to a minimum. Yeah, and the reason why I said they haven't played their best is because I saw them play their best, and when they're playing their best, they are scoring 5 goals, 6 goals, 7 goals, sometimes 8 goals. Yeah, it's Mike Smith in that.
Yeah, that is true. That's the absolute best that you can get out of the Avalanche. And even though McKinnon, I think, had 13 shots on goal, none of them were the most threatening shots. I'd say, like, he had one really big opportunity. It was right in front of Vasilevsky, and he kind of put it right into his chest where he had a chance. Yeah. He had a lot of open room. Yeah. That was the only time he probably wanted that one back. But as we mentioned, though, even when he had the puck, you're still nervous when he has it because he's just going all over the place. And, you know, we talk a lot about how the Lightning are built, right? And they put all these, like, sandpaper guys around, and you forget that the Avalanche have kind of done the same thing and taken these like risk on players that other people gave up on. I didn't even know if you knew this, but Val Nichushkin, who's been great for them this season in the playoffs, he scored 0 goals like 2 seasons ago for the Stars. Like in a full season, scored 0 goals, and he was a former first round pick. Yeah. And they took him in, and they were just like, we'll see what we have if we have something else there. Yeah, there's something there. Yeah. Burakovsky, who scored the game winner. Yeah. Washington was like, yeah, it's not working out. We don't know if there's anything left there. Yeah, he unlocked something in Colorado. So it's similar to how the Lightning are built in the front office. Colorado's the same way. Yeah, Sakic, a former player, great player, Stanley Cup champion. Joe Sakic has put this team together. Bednar, I mean, they're clearly on the same page. As you mentioned many times, they've gone from 48 points to the Stanley Cup final in, 5 years? Yeah. I mean, that's Toronto would, and Montreal and every other place would be envious of that. And they've done it by completely rebuilding. Yes, I mean, they had McKinnon, the first-round pick, a high pick, and who's the other high pick I'm thinking? Oh, Makar. Landeskog. And Makar. Landeskog was before McKinnon. Right.
and they get Cale Makar, and now they have very much a kind of a nucleus, but they don't have a Vasilevsky. And I still think that's going to be the difference in this series is when you get right down to it, so much of it is about goaltending. What are we watching here?
What do you mean what are we watching?
MJ Duffy is going to hit a shot from the hospitality.
Oh, the golf.
Yeah. Can you see this?
I do.
There's a hospitality tent. He's literally hitting off the deck, and he's hitting a 3-wood.
Oh, no.
Where the hell is this going to go? Oh, my God, what a shot. What a shot. He's literally on the porch, the deck of the concession stand. And moved the people over. He's hitting off that like fake grass, like the gray fake grass. He just blasted it. It looks like a par 5. And, some dude that just got a Miller Lite's like, hey, nice shot, bro. He's one of the 47 qualifiers, by the way, in the field, which is a record. 47 qualifiers, 47 newbies in the U.S. Open. Look at this shot. Are you watching this?
Yeah,
and there's a fence in front of him. There's a fence right in front of him, like a one of those white plastic. He's got about a 6-foot opening, and he scrapes it off the ground. A 3-wood, just blasts it.
That flush too.
He flushed it. I mean, if he hits it low, look, there's people right there in the concession stand, like in line. He could have blasted him.
And that right there.
Why would he play it from there?
I don't know, but I tell you what, that's why they are pros.
Don't you get a
sitting
drop?
here watching?
Oh, I know why he played it from there. Because if he drops, he's going to be in the fescue. Yeah. He's going to drop because the nearest relief is like 6 yards of fescue. He's going to have to hit out of that. So he chooses to hit off the freaking. That was something else.
That's like hitting off like a mat at like a driving range at that point.
No, it's a great lie.
Yeah.
You're not going to hit it fat.
No.
It's going to bounce off the wood. I mean, I've never seen that before in my life.
I know that stopped us dead in our tracks here.
There's a tree to the left that was carved out of the deck, and there's a white fence that he's got to hit it over, and he's got about like a 6-foot window to hit it through. And he takes a 3-wood and just rips it. And he's leading the U.S. Open as a qualifier at 5 under par, leading the U.S. Open by 2. Wow.
Well, anyway, you were saying about the Lightning.
Sorry. I was saying about the Lightning before that.
The Rory one got me yesterday. That one got you today.
Yeah. Well, the Rory's was just,
But anyway,
frustration. But anyway, this Lightning team, I'm fine with where they are right now. It would be really, really nice for them to get a win tomorrow night, and I think they will. I think they'll win tomorrow night, and I think they'll be. I still think Lightning in 6.
I will.
Till I see somebody do something different to them.
I will go in 7.
Okay.
By the way, I said yesterday, I bet the ratings are through the roof. I was correct. 161% jump from last year.
Holy shit.
161%.
And it doesn't hurt when it's on ABC.
Oh, that's huge for the NHL.
Yeah.
Huge for the NHL. 4.2 million viewer average yesterday.
Yeah. You know how much time they gave it on Get Up today?
0.
They're the freaking rights holder, and they don't do one segment on the freaking Stanley Cup final.
Well, the NBA final just ended. I mean,
I know it's a 2-hour show.
Who are they going to bring on?
Torts.
Who are they going to Torts?
So Torts goes to Philadelphia, and there's guys, former players are tweeting out, "Pray for the Flyers player."
Yeah.
Why is he the disaster? Because he's a hard coach. We can't do that anymore. The poor baby's going to get their feelings hurt because he's going to say something mean. Oh,
listen.
Oh, that's so bad. He's going to hold the players accountable. Oh no.
Listen.
Oh, and then maybe he might even say something patriotic, like if you don't stand for the anthem, you're not gonna play for me.
I have no idea where you're going now. Now you're going off the rails.
I'm like, well, why are the players? Why are they so scared of Tortorella? He's coach.
The game has passed him by.
He was not passed him by. Stop it.
He is 63 years old. He ain't rebuilding anything. He's rebuilding nothing. He's got nothing to work with in Philadelphia. This is disaster waiting to happen. It's going to be pure comedy gold with him in the media. That's the only good thing about this. But if you're a strategic move, it's an awful hire. Awful hire. If the Lightning tomorrow had hired John Tortorella or something, I would hate it. Hate it.
Well, you don't know Torts like I know Torts.
You know him personally. I'm going off of what I'm seeing on his teams, the way they've played, the way he's been. This is disaster waiting to happen, and I am going to sit back and watch it. It's going to be great to watch.
Maybe it's a team that needs to return to their roots of the Broad Street bullies, get tougher, be hard to play against.
Well, maybe Chief should coach the Flyers then. He should go back to Philly.
He should be an assistant.
The Flyers.
Yeah,
be an assistant under Tortorella.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, come on, man. Come on. Look what he did with Columbus. Swept the Lightning. Created a monster.
There was way more to work with in Columbus than there is in Philadelphia.
Okay, well, that's not a Torch problem. That's a GM problem.
And that's what I'm telling you is he's not going to do anything with this roster of players he has there. No way.
No way. Well, maybe there's a young roster that needs to get a little backbone.
No, it's a hodgepodge of players from previous head coaches all just thrown together and makes zero sense.
I'll be honest with you. I know absolutely nothing about their roster, but I know Torch is a good hockey coach. And he's a little gruff and he's a little old school, but maybe that's something that they need. We'll see what happens. But if you ain't got players, you ain't got squat. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Barry Smith's going to join us, former Florida State All-American and first-round pick of the NFL, now working with the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. They got a big golf tournament coming up with a bunch of celebrities. If you like big-name celebs and fun golf and competition and drinking on the course and having a good time, well, this thing is for you. We'll also talk about what's going on at Florida State, his alma mater. So stay with us. Cryptocurrency is all the rage today. The market cap for the industry is now over $1 trillion. And you read about people making millions of dollars, right? You want to get in, but have no idea what to do? Or maybe you dabbled a bit and you want to unlock the real money-making opportunities and don't know how to do it. There are over 10,000 tokens and thousands of decentralized finance exchanges to navigate. So what do? You go to DeFiLava.com. The folks at DeFiLava.com are in Tampa Bay, and they work with you directly to set up custom accounts, answer all your questions, and provide market analysis. Decentralized finance and cryptocurrencies are here to stay and will change the financial markets as we know them. Get in the game. Get with the experts at DeFiLava.com and tell them JP sent you and get their free 2022 crypto market forecast today at DeFiLava.com. Don't get left behind, folks. Make some money at DeFiLava.com. The health professionals at Bay Area Modern Medical Center want you to know it's time to commit to a new healthy lifestyle. It's literally a matter of life and death. 42% of Americans are considered obese, and being obese made you 3 times more likely to be hospitalized by COVID. So getting in shape is not just about looking better, it's about living much longer. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, they take a very different approach to primary
JP on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Here, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo and the Golden Diamond Source. It's Father's Day coming up on Sunday. If you haven't gotten your dad a gift, head on over to the Golden Diamond Source. Get him a nice watch, a bracelet, maybe a Florida State pendant that he would love. Something with FSU on it would be nice. They've got the greatest selection over there, and you can get an engagement ring if you're thinking about doing it this summer. 0% financing, 5 years, so you can get a really, really big diamond for $20, $30, $40. So head on over. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. And our next guest would like something with a Florida State logo on it. He is the great Barry Smith, Florida State All-American, Hall of Famer, and first-round pick, former Buccaneer. What's up, my friend? How are you? Barry, can you hear me? Barry, can you, even with that great intro, still can't hear me? Can he hear me? Try again.
Yeah, let me see if I can fix something here on air.
Okay. Stand by. Yes. And Barry played on that first Buccaneers team in 1976.
All right, go ahead now.
Remember that. Barry, are you there? Can you hear me?
I sure am.
Hey, what's up, partner? How are you? I just gave you a great introduction that you probably didn't hear, but just trust me, it was really good. How are you?
Well, it's always great to be on your show, JP. You're definitely one of the sports icons here in the area.
That's
if not all over the state. And God bless you, man. You're always in the middle of what's happening.
Well, I appreciate that, partner. It was good to see you last night at the celebration of life for Rick Naif,
Yes.
one of our dear friends. And, one of the good ones taken way, way too soon, my friend. But last night, Mayor Iorio, former Mayor Greco, saw you standing next to Steve Spurrier, if I'm not mistaken. The old ball coach was there last night.
I looked over and I go, my God, this is one of my former teammates. And God bless he and Jerry. I mean, they drove down from Gainesville to attend. And that just shows you the respect that Rick Naif has, and God bless me. He will be missed.
Yeah, I forgot you played with Spurrier, you Seminoles and Knowles getting together. Where was that?
Hey,
that
was
was
the original Buccaneers.
The original Buccaneers, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a fun season, wasn't it?
Let's say it was a memorable, I don't know about fun, but it was a memorable season. And I think we checked the stats. I think the last pass that Spurrier completed in the NFL was to me, and it was probably the last pass that I caught in my career. So we both, crash landed here in Tampa. But, one thing I can tell you about Steve and Jerry, that we really had a close group of guys, and we circled the wagons pretty good. And I'm telling you, every time there was a home game or something like that, we would all go. I mean, most of the team would wind up at their home in town and country, and we would stay there and party till the sun came up.
How about that?
So we made the most of it. We had a lot of fun.
There were some interesting personalities on that first team, weren't there?
Yes, there were. Long time ago.
You got a good John McKay story for me?
Yeah, but we'll do that for another time.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do that for another time. Okay, just another time.
All right, you got
that's water over. That's water over the day. Anyway, yeah.
Well, listen, you've got a golf tournament coming up with the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. As I said earlier on, if you like to have fun with some big name celebs and hang out with a lot of fun people and have a few pops on the great golf course, this event is for you. Tell me about it.
Well, one of the things, it's an annual event that we created. This will be our 5th annual one, and to add to a lot of different events that we're doing. This event is a real VIP thing. We don't have 36 teams. We limit it to 18 corporate teams. We're moving, getting close to, filling those numbers. Obviously, we want to finish selling it out. What's great about it is, we got Johnny Damon and Steve DeBerg and William Floyd, Dexter Jackson, James Jones, but there's a number of other celebrities that will be there that we can't announce because on the Friday night before the tournament, we have our pairings party. We actually will announce the Hall of Fame class of 2022.
Nice.
And that's the first time. And so there's going to be a number of those Hall of Fame members will actually be there and showcase and present it that evening. and there's some really big names, and we're very excited about. Again, when we do our enshrinement here in Tampa, November 2nd at Raymond James Stadium.
That's going to be a great event as well. And a couple of years ago, we announced the class on our show, which was really fun. We appreciate the opportunity to do that. So this will be another one at the pairings party. So, well, how can people get involved with this golf tournament? How many more spots you got left open?
Well, let's put it this way. I'm not the keeper of those numbers, but you can easily, if you just go to our website, everything you need to know is there. And that's, FLASportsHOF.org. Okay, so FLASportsHOF.org. That's our website and everything you need to know, and it's going to be a rocking time. We always have a rocking time, but very VIP. And Reunion is a great golf course.
Yeah, it's really
and for those of us here in the Tampa Bay area, it's an easy drive. But you don't want to really miss that party the night before, because where we will also unveil our class. And I said, there's some pretty big names that are going to be unveiled in that thing.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Florida sports, if you are an FSU, Florida fan, Miami fan, or one of the professional sports fan, this is always an event for you. You guys do a great job of kind of representing all the different areas in Florida, and then bringing in the past Hall of Famers, with who we all know, the big names, just every one of them. And you guys have done, especially in the last few years, yourself and Wayne Hogan and some of the group, of putting this thing back together. So I always loved going to your events. You always see great old friends there. So I'm looking forward to this one as well. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well,
go ahead,
JP. It's always the state of Florida. There's never a shortage of athletes, and we're changing our format. It's really going to be more of a party atmosphere, and then kind of like an ESPY award show. So instead of the traditional rubber chicken dinner, yuck, it's because we want to be able to enshrine more individuals. Because think about it, we're talking about not only men and female, but think about all the sports. And we have Olympic athletes, winter Olympic athletes, that are winning gold medals from the state of Florida that we've never recognized. Okay. So it's again, a lot of fun. We have a great board, and we've, thank God, the state of Florida and all the fans and all that have supported the organization really well.
Barry Smith joining us here from Florida Sports Hall of Fame, also Florida State alum and All-American Hall of Famer. How do you think things are going at the old Florida State Ponderosa these days? I think Mike Norvell has certainly made some positive changes, but I think we're all waiting to see it materialize on the field. What are your thoughts?
Well, there's, they say the proof in the pudding.
Yep.
There's no doubt that Norvell has lots of enthusiasm. So he certainly, has created a whole new vibe there on campus. As we all know, the last few years with the transfer portals and the NILs, that has created a whole different, I don't want to say nightmare, but new challenges for any coach.
Yeah.
Okay. And especially for, I'll say, new coaches. And then you throw in that little COVID. But he's done a really good job recruiting. And I think we're all kind of excited that this is the year to kind of make the turn. Okay. I don't think any of us are thinking national championships, but you know what? I'd love to get back in the bowl games. Okay. let's get back going to a bowl game. You know what I mean? And so I'm really excited about the, as well as a lot of stuff that's going on at Florida State right now. We got some great teams, between our, the women's softball programs and the soccer programs. Our basketball continues to be. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with our baseball program.
Yeah.
But FSU is obviously one of the premier programs. I love the Garnet Gold, and it's put it this way. I can't wait till Labor Day weekend, because my family, I will be in New Orleans at that FSU LSU game, travel with a bunch of buddies. We're going to have a great weekend.
You bringing your son? Because I'm bringing my son to that game.
Well, Andrew is a Georgia Tech grad,
That's
plays
true.
football at Georgia Tech, but he is an FSU fan, and we're doing a Georgia Tech FSU a game. Well, we're going to be up there in Tallahassee for that game, where we're going to have a lot of my former teammates, a lot of his former teammates, and we're going to have a big tailgate party, game watching. It should have a lot of fun. Yep.
I'll be in New Orleans as well. All right. Well, let's get all your big money people to get that NIL money going up. I know you know all the big hitters, so you get out there, Barry, and start passing the hat so we can buy some of these players that are all going to A&M. All right.
Yes, indeed. Hey, you know what else though? Right now, the immediate. Hey, go Bolts tonight.
Damn right. Tomorrow night. I keep thinking it's tonight too, but it's tomorrow night.
Oh, it is tonight. Yes, it is tomorrow night. Okay, yeah, thank you. Well, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Me too.
I'm all jacked up, ready to go.
All right, Barry. Well, thanks for the information. Once again, it's FloridaFLASportsHOF.org to sign up for the tournament. It's going to be a great event. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, JP.
The great Barry Smith right there. All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will chat with the great Brian Bradley, who's in the Florida Sports Hall of Fame and the Tampa Sports Hall of Fame. And we're going to talk about tomorrow night's Game 2 in Colorado. Stay with us. The world economy is in chaos, and mortgage rates are going to go higher in the next few months. Meanwhile, home values are up 24% in some neighborhoods of Tampa Bay. Do not miss this opportunity to refinance your home. Get some much-needed cash to handle skyrocketing inflation. Americans are considered obese, and being obese made you 3 times more likely to be hospitalized by COVID. So getting in shape is not just about looking better, it's about living much longer. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, they take a very different approach to primary care. It's personalized, preventative medicine. Christopher Lugo and his experienced staff are proactive in looking at your issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle, building up your immune system, not destroying it with poor nutrition and bad habits. So call for an appointment, maybe change your primary care, and get on a journey back to full health and a happy life. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's rock.
This is FanStream Sports with JP.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center. In our second hour, Christopher Lugo and his medical team will take great care of you. If you're looking for a new diet, lose some weight, they got great programs for that as well. testosterone replacement therapy, get your immune system all boosted up and just get you in great health. And they use modern techniques, not all the old stuff, but the new stuff that's working for a lot of the top pilots in the military that he works with. So if you're looking for that cutting edge in your diet, in your workouts, in your testosterone replacement therapy, it's Bay Area Modern Medical Center. They will get you right. Christopher Lugo. Tell them JP sent you. Go to BAMMC.com. All right, let's welcome in our good friend Brian Bradley. This guy's in great shape. Looks like he can play hockey right now. He's out in Colorado with the Lightning as they get set for Game 2 tomorrow night. What's up, Brian Bradley? How are you, my friend?
Good, JP. How are you doing today? Everything good in Tampa Bay?
You know, I like everybody else, keep thinking the game's tonight because we're on that, every other night schedule. But and I think this kind of benefits the Lightning, to be quite honest. It just lets you get a little bit more acclimated to the altitude. You're out there, and I'm sure it affects you. Feel it, right? Just walking around.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely different if you played in places like Calgary or Denver and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what? It can make you tired, sluggish, and sometimes it takes a little time to get used to it. But, I mean, honestly, I thought the game was, we played okay. It wasn't our best game the other night, but at the end of the day, we started kind of slow against the Avalanche. And you know what? They got a couple of goals. Landeskog and Tushkin, scored. And then we scored a goal by Nick Paul. It was just kind of got us back in the game. But I think the one that was just we can talk about Dazzy. The first two goals were just okay. I think one hit Bogosian's stick. Yeah. So, I don't know if that's really, it kind of was at first when you looked at it, it was like, man, I can't believe Dazzy missed that. But, we're down 2-0. The crowd at the Ball Arena was just going wild. So, then we made it 2-1. And then I think the killer in the whole game, and I'm going to say this, that it was a terrible freaking call.
Terrible.
And to give a Makar. Sorelli did not do anything. He fell. It was an absolute just mistake. You can't give a team in the Stanley Cup playoffs a 5-on-3, and obviously they scored to make it 3-1. Lehkonen scored. Well, it was a good play, but at the end of the day, we're shorthanded. They've got about a minute 30 or 40 left on the power play of the first one.
Yep.
And then they call this phantom call with one hand on the stick. And to me, I've watched it. I've listened to the NHL Network. There's not a chance it should have been called.
Nope.
Especially at the blue line. It's not like it's a scoring attempt or Makar is going end to end. He's got a breakaway and we had to haul him down. He's outside the blue line. He actually falls, and Sorelli has one hand on his stick. To me, that was a game changer. If that doesn't go, we maybe kill it off and it's only 2-1, and then we score a couple goals, to tie the game up, and they score in overtime. And it was just kind of, way it is. But to me, it was just a joke call by the refs.
And for those who are kind of neophytes to hockey, Brian, this isn't, a situation where the refs know the situation. They know if they make a call, it's going to be a 5-on-3, and it's going to be an automatic goal, especially in that situation when it's a minute 30 left, minute 40 left in the penalty. Yeah. And so you're literally penalty, and they know that it's got to be a more egregious penalty, right? This is part of the game. The refs know that, right? Explain that part of it. They know it's got to be something more egregious, like you just kind of outlined. So why do they make that call right there? Because the crowd yells and screams?
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they wouldn't make a call like that. Like I said, JP, to me, it was just an absolute joke call. The ref should have never made that call in a million years, and it changed the game. It went from a 2-1 to a 3-1. The crowd got into it. Give the Lightning credit. They came back in and Plot scored. Yeah. Well, an amazing goal by, Kucherov was unbelievable. And, Sergachev, ripped a shot again and scored. But, I'm just saying, I'm watching the game live, and you know what? Makar has the puck at the point. Sorelli kind of does a great play and chips it out. He tries to go get it with one hand on his stick. Makar just falls. He didn't trip him. He just fell. It's part of the game. He fell. And to make a phantom call like that, knowing that we're on a power play for a minute 30 or 40 left, the ref gives them a 5-on-3. That to me, like I said, it's not even a play that's in a scoring or I think like if you're calling a 5-on-3 in the Stanley Cup Finals, you got to make sure that is a major call. Yep. It's a game changer. It's a series changer. It's all of the above. Like, could you imagine in game 5 or 6, they give a call like that against us? No. And it shouldn't go the other way either. We shouldn't get phantom calls either. Call the game as you see it. But to me, that was just such a blatant call to make that just actually killed the mojo of the game.
It really did. And how did you think the Lightning played overall? I mean, I'm encouraged by the game, to be quite honest. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a tough slog for the Lightning. I thought that Colorado would get a little tired in the third because they've been off so much. And I think the Lightning really did own the second period for the most part. But I thought the Lightning played okay. I didn't see this humongous speed advantage that everybody's talking about, and how much better the Avalanche are than the Lightning. I didn't see that at all. And I also know that the Lightning have played much worse games against Toronto and New York and come back and won the series. So just overall, how did you think the Lightning played? Are you concerned that the Avalanche are a better team than the Lightning?
No, you know what? Not at all. I mean, we'll look at our track record, and you know what? We're 6-6 in game one, so we're not like a juggernaut in game one. We're like 9-2 or 9-1 in game two. So at the end of the day, I thought we played an okay game. I'm not going to say, you know what, maybe Colorado was better, the Avalanche were better to win game one. But you know what? It's almost like Bazzi. And this is what I look at. It's almost like every time we play a new series, except for Florida, but he's played there lots of times. It's like when we played Toronto or we played the Rangers. It's like Bazzi has to get used to the new arena, like the new nets, where the nets are, where the crowd is, where everything is. And he just doesn't feel comfortable. Like there was times Bazzi was not comfortable in net, making some saves that didn't look great. But you know what? He just didn't. Then all of a sudden he dialed it in the second and third period. Yeah. And then, you know what? Not many times you're going to score 3 goals in a period against, the big cat Bazzi. I mean, but the power play goal, he didn't have a chance when we were 5-on-3, but the other 2 were okay. But at the end of the day, I mean, do I think the Avalanche dominated the game, or like, are we in trouble? No, but not at all. Yeah. I thought the Toronto Maple Leafs were just as good or better. And I thought, the Rangers at some point, like, we're getting used to the way they play. And you know what? We're feeling each other out. It was game one. And, the Lightning just play like that. I mean, there's nothing to be, I know we can beat this team. I mean, it's probably going to go 6 or 7 games, but my gut feeling is we're just as good or better. We're going to be better tomorrow night. And you know what? I'm going to go watch you guys skate at 1:30 today at Ball Arena. But, it was good to have Braden Point back. We never talked about Braden. Yeah. I mean, I thought he played good. I thought he played a good game. I mean, you know what? He had an assist. You could tell he's still not 100%, but, he still had some good energy. But remember, he hasn't played in 3 or 4 weeks. You come back into a Stanley Cup Finals after missing like 4 weeks of play. That's hard to do. Yeah. But he played okay. I think he's going to get better tomorrow. I think he'll even be better on Monday and Wednesday in Tampa. He's going to gradually get better and better every game, which is what we need to see from Braden Point, because he's a difference maker. He can do whatever he can, And I thought, you know what? Kucherov made a great play to Platt. I thought Stamkos had a quiet game. Yeah. I mean, he might have had a couple shots, but he didn't really do much or wasn't a factor. But I will say this, you know what? Watching the game live, our power play was average. Yep. I think we were 0 for 3, JP, but we didn't do anything. We really didn't even have great chances to score. So to me, I think our power play has to be better. We had a chance in the third period when we were tied 3-3 to knock these guys down and take a lead. We didn't do anything on our power play.
It was awful.
So I mean, that's a thing that, I'm like shocked watching it, what happened. But at the end of the day, I think the only thing that we need to be better on was our power play. Yep. I mean, you know what, overall, let's say the Avalanche were the better team in game one, maybe deserved to win. So what? I mean, it's one game, and you know what? We were better in the second and third. Wasn't our great first period, but let's see what happens in game 2 tomorrow at Ball Arena.
Brian Bradley joining us here, Lightning's first All-Star and leading scorer in those first few years. And I thought the shot volume was just not nearly enough on Darcy Kemper. I saw so many opportunities where Lightning players had shooting lanes and just passed them up. And I got to feel like that's got to change in game 2. They only had 60 shot attempts to 79 to the Avalanche. And, even in the overtime, right after the penalty expired, the Lightning had a nice little flurry there, and Kemper was on his ass. And Hedman had the puck in the corner or right on the line. And I'm like, throw the damn puck at the net. He's on his ass. I mean, there just seemed like so many opportunities where they could just force Darcy Kemper to make some saves or do something, and they passed up on it. Do you think the shot volume will go up in game 2?
You know what? I think it will go up a bit, but I just think Colorado, with the way they play with high speed, tempo, pace, and they like to control the neutral zone, they're going to outshoot us most games. I mean, we only had 23 shots. I'd like to see us getting close to 30, but I don't think the guys are worried about that as much because a lot of the shots the Avalanche take are so low percentage. I mean, they're getting the shot clock up, but does that mean it's a chance to score when you're shooting from 40 feet out? I mean, no, you're not going in. I mean, a couple went in the other game, but at the end of the day, I know what the shots were 38 to 23 for the Avalanche. But I thought, you know what, we need to get more shots, JP. I would say that we need to get over 30. But I thought our face-offs were good. I thought penalty killing was good. I mean, the Avalanche had a great opportunity just before the regulation ended, where Maroon shoots the puck over the boards, and then they have a great chance to score, on the power play. And we kill that. We do an amazing job killing that penalty. And then, obviously they scored right after that, in the overtime. But it was just an unfortunate play. I mean, it hit Hedman. I think it pinballed over to, Nikushin I mean, Vazzy just didn't read the play. He didn't see the pinball where it goes up in the air and it lands on the guy's stick. The guy makes a great play for the goal. Yeah. And you know what, Burakovsky buries it. But, Vazzy just didn't read the play. He didn't see the puck go up in the air, and he lost it for literally like 2 seconds or a second. And when he lost it, if Vazzy sees that, he gets over and makes that save. But he just misses the pass and the read. And, it's unfortunate. But, at the end of the day, the Avalanche won. It's not like we played Toronto. I will say this. When I was in Toronto in game 1, we lost 5-0. Oh, my God. We were not good.
It was awful.
And then the Rangers in game 1
6-2.
in New York, we were not good. I'm not kidding you. We were not good in any game 1s there. Florida, we played really pretty good in 1. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is our game 1 that we normally play. I thought we were pretty good. I thought we were going to be better. So let's see what happens Saturday. So the guys had a chance to win. It wasn't our best game. We lost in overtime. But there's lots of positives from this. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm encouraged actually by the whole thing. Just like you said, we played so much worse in those other games and came back. And I definitely see a speed advantage for Colorado, but I don't think it's overwhelming. It's nothing that the Lightning haven't seen. They'll figure it out and they'll make some adjustments. Are there any particular adjustments that you think they'll make? You think Point will stay on that line, or will they move them around? What do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm going to go to the morning skate. I mean, they got to ease Braden Point back in the lineup. I mean, so I thought Nick Paul, those guys, Ross Colton, were physical. And, Point played with them, and they juggled them around a bit in some of the other lines. But, I mean, some of our players like Kucherov, I mean, he had an amazing play, but there's a few times he could have shot the puck too, and Stamkos had a quiet night. So, even Hedman, I mean, I thought our star players, which we always talk about, they usually, make a difference. I thought the difference in the game is our star players were just okay. Yeah. And you can't be okay. You can't be okay in the Stanley Cup final. The other guys can be okay, but your star players, and, it goes for Vazzy, it goes for Heddy, it goes for Stammer, Point, Cooch, they have to be better. When your star players play, the team goes. That's it. And I thought all those guys just played an okay game in game 1. I mean, but they can be a lot better.
Brian Bradley joining us here. How was the atmosphere at the Ball Center, Ball Arena, whatever the hell they call it there? It seemed like it was really loud.
What? Well, you know what? Here's the thing. It was kind of crazy for a while. And you know what? But I still think Amelie's way louder. Really? And the fans are way more into it. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. There was times where the game was going on at the beginning when they were up like 2-0 and 2-1 and 3-1. The crowd was kind of crazy, but there was a lot of times in that second period, even third, where they weren't saying anything. Huh. They were dead quiet. Wow. They were like on pins and needles, like, boom, here come the lightning. Here come the lightning. Scored, I can't really say, hey, you know what? I was in Toronto, wild. Florida's not as good. New York Rangers, crazy. Yeah. New York and Toronto are just as good or louder, noisier than Ball Arena. So I don't think that has any effect. And Amelie's just as wild, trust me. So I still think Amelie's right up there with the best of them when, John Franzone and all those guys get their stuff from the Jumbotron and make this stuff happen. Yep. I mean, it's awesome to see. So to me, you know what? It's another rink. The guys know it. They've been here. They've done it. This is their third Stanley Cup. In 3 years. So it doesn't matter where they're playing. It's an ice surface. It's putting the puck in the net.
And how's Colorado treating you out there? Just beautiful weather, no humidity. Just go ahead, rub it in. Like, how nice is the weather out there as we swelter in Tampa Bay summer?
Well, you know what? It's really hot out here this last couple of days, JP. It's like 90, 95, but the difference is there's no humidity out in Colorado and Denver. So it's kind of really nice. You can walk around, you know, in shorts or, you know, a T-shirt, but you're not going to sweat and do all that stuff like you do in Tampa because it's burning hot in Tampa now.
It's absolutely brutal. Enjoy yourself. You heading up to the mountains at all? What are you doing out there? Any fun stuff?
Just kind of just fun stuff. Just going to the skate today. It was in Boulder yesterday and stuff like that. So
Boulder's nice.
No, that's about it. So I'm quiet.
All right.
You know, big game tomorrow. All good.
Well, enjoy the Rocky Mountains, my friend, and bring us home a win. Let's get it all tied up, and then we'll talk to you on Monday.
Okay, sounds good, JP. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Over and out. Bye, buddy.
Great Brian Bradley right there. It's I just feel very comfortable with this team right now. I know a lot of Lightning fans are bailing. Stop listening to the national media. It's fine. It's fine. Lightning are in good position. Braden Point's going to be better. And just like you said, I mean, McKinnon didn't score. I get it. But, you know, Stamkos and Hedman was really not a factor, did not play his best game. So I expect much better from the Lightning. They'll do what they always do. And that's break down the tape, know exactly what the Colorado's trying to do with them, see the matchups that they want. And obviously they can't make last change out there, but they'll be able to work it to get the matchups that they want. Because I know the McKinnon line did not shy away from the Cirelli and Killorn line, and they played well. So maybe that's a little different matchup. Maybe they change point and go with more of a defensive look against that line. We'll see. But Braden Point did play 18 minutes in that first game back, which of all the Bolts forwards, Cirelli, Kucherov, and Paul were the only ones who played more. So it wasn't like they were, just dipping their toe in the water with Braden Point. He was ready to go, and he went out and played. I wouldn't say he was at the old Braden Point level. He had a turnover that kind of led to a goal, but I expect him to be much better when he comes back. Interesting to note, we talked a little bit about this earlier, that John Tortorella will be the Flyers' new coach. Bruce Cassidy moving out of Boston and going to Vegas. Vegas definitely making some moves. But that certainly kind of changes the East a little bit. I'll be interested to see what Torts does with the Flyers. They obviously they need a complete rebuild. I don't know if he's the guy for the rebuild, but certainly could put a foundation in play of hard work and getting guys to buy in. So I know a lot of players don't like playing for him, and he's a little old school. But for me, love me some Torts, and he'll certainly make the Flyers relevant in their local media and in the national media. And God bless him for his attempt at doing television. That's not his thing. Not that he's bad at it. It's just not his thing. He's not going to be, as much as Buccigross tried to get him to have some fun with it. And he's just not cut out for being a broadcaster. He's a hockey coach, and that's where he needs to be. I'm glad to see him back with it. All right, we'll take a quick break here. We'll come back on the other side, and in case you missed it, we talked a little bit about what's next for the Rays, as I have to do a little producing here, in terms of their stadium, and a couple things that were said by Rob Manfred, the commissioner. So we'll get into that and catch up on the U.S. Open too. Some things going on there. Stay with us.
Italiano Insurance has been serving and working in our community for over 60 years, and it's not just about insuring all the pieces of your life. Italiano is as much a part of Tampa Bay as the Cuban sandwich, Gasparilla, and our Bucks, Lightning, and Rays. They're also active supporters of great charities like the Humane Society, Metropolitan Ministries, and local pediatric cancer centers. Hey, we all need insurance, so do business with a local company with a commitment to our community. Don't call some 1-800 number. Call Italiano and be greeted by one of your neighbors. That's 813-877-7799 or ItalianoInsurance.com. Named the Small Business of the Year by the Tampa Chamber. 813-877-7799. Cryptocurrency is all the rage today. The market cap for the industry is now over $1 trillion. And you read about people making millions of dollars, right? You want to get in, but have no idea what to do? Or maybe you dabbled a bit and you want to unlock the real money-making opportunities and don't know how to do it. There are over